within hours. The strikes didn't stop. They expanded, not in one location, not in one country, but across multiple fronts, simultaneously. It didn't take days. It didn't take weeks. It took hours. A strike was launched, then another, from Iraq to Lebanon to Gaza to Tel Aviv. The region didn't escalate. It ignited. This was not a single conflict anymore. This was a chain reaction, coordinated, simultaneous, and dangerously fast. And the question is no longer who started it, but how far this will go. Within hours, multiple strikes were reported, not in one place, but across several regions. Israel intensified operations. Lebanon, Gaza, and other locations considered threats. Airstrikes hit strategic zones, targets described as military. But the impact spread wider. Infrastructure disrupted. Civilian pressure increased. Evacuations began. This was not a contained strike. This was expansion. At the same time, another front activated, Iraq. USA-10 warplanes entered the operation. Low altitude, close air support, built for sustained pressure. Their targets, pro-Iran forces on the ground. These were not symbolic actions. They were direct battlefield engagements, precision strikes, repeated passes, ground suppression. And this matters, because the A-10 is not used lightly. It is deployed when the objective is clear, to degrade and contain active threats. This was not just support, this was participation. The response came fast, almost immediate. Missiles were launched, drones were deployed, structured, calculated, prepared, targets described as strategic. Operational zones, military-linked locations. This was not spontaneous. This was pre-positioned. Because speed like this requires readiness. Launch systems prepared, command chains aligned. And yet, the response remained measured. Not overwhelming, not total, which reveals something critical. This was deterrence in motion, a message, not just an attack. Then the pressure shifted. Lebanon, strikes reported in Beirut, densely populated areas affected, evacuations began, civilians displaced, targets described as military. But consequences spread wider. Infrastructure damaged, public services disrupted. Lebanon is no longer on the sidelines. It is now part of the battlefield. While attention shifts across the region, one front never pauses. Gaza. Operations continue. Strikes persist. Even as escalation grows elsewhere, this front remains active, and that reveals a pattern. The core conflict doesn't stop. It is only overshadowed, and the cost remains constant. Now the structure is clear. 3 active fronts. At the same time, first, Israel and Iran. Second, Israel and forces in Lebanon. Third, Israel and Gaza. 3 battle spaces, connected, interdependent, and under pressure. This is not linear conflict. This is multi-front warfare, where one escalation feeds another. The situation is not stabilizing, it is expanding. Strikes continue, responses continue. No pause, no reset. And the longer this continues, the greater the impact, not just regionally, but globally, energy markets, security dynamics, geopolitical balance, all begin to shift. But there is another battlefield: information. Narratives collide, claims compete, facts become fragmented. And in this environment, understanding becomes difficult, because truth in conflict is rarely simple. At this stage, the biggest danger is not just escalation, it's miscalculation, multiple fronts, multiple actors, decisions made in seconds, under pressure, with limited information, and no time to fully verify. One wrong read, one delayed response, one unexpected strike can trigger a chain reaction, because each side is reacting, not only to facts, but to what they believe is happening, and that's where the risk grows. 3 fronts active, military systems on high alert, forces already engaged. There is very little room for error, because in modern warfare, the line between control and chaos is thinner than ever. So now the question is no longer just, who is attacking who? But how far this escalation will go. Is this still controlled, or already slipping beyond containment? Because what we are witnessing is not just a conflict. It is a system under pressure, multi-front, multi-actor, high speed. And history shows, when escalation moves this fast, it rarely stops where it begins. So what do you think? Is this a controlled escalation, or the beginning of something much bigger? Drop your analysis in the comments, and stay with TRX Update. Because in a world moving this fast, understanding the pattern is more important than ever.